Christopher Wallace was born May 21st, 1972 in Brooklyn, New York. I loved all his noises, all his cries, all his coos. I loved every moment of my baby.
Christopher's father is Vincent Latour.
We weren't living together, but he was there often enough.
He was getting jealous of Christopher and his mom because she spent a lot of time with Christopher.
His father and I, we just separate our ways. I was giving my son so much love, I couldn't give my love to anyone else. We would go down to Jamaica every year.
He had a lot of family in the country.
Christopher loved the reggae beat. He had an uncle who was a DJ. On Saturdays, he would go to clubs and play the music.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing tonight?
At 6 years of age, he went to St. Peter Claver.
It was the Catholic school in the heart of the hood.
He was so intelligent that he wouldn't even study for tests.
He had the English award, the math award, the reading award, every award you can think of.
He was an artist too, like he could look at you and just draw you.
He was a brilliant kid. He was like really smart. We were always picked on during recess, so we formed a crew called the Hawks. We gave everyone their names. It was Captain Chris, Heartbroken Hubert, and Master Mike.
He was like the leader. So pretty much whatever he said, they would do.
But I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. They came from the Bedford-Stuyvesant area.
It was so scary. Drunks and bums hanging out on the street corner.
Fulton Street at that time was very busy. When you walked through the blocks, you would just feel the years and years of suffering.
My rules for him was you have to stay at the stoop. Play right in front so I can see you.
Well, she wouldn't let him venture off of that stoop because she knew the neighborhood.
I trusted my son. It's just a street that I never trusted.
There was always music blasting out of somebody's house. Soul, reggae, jazz.
I bought him a radio, and he wanted the best, either the Sharp or the Sony.
We listened to it every day. Run DMC, Dougie Fresh, Big Daddy Kane.
I met Chris around 84. I was walking with my saxophone. He said, "You play music?" He was very forward.
Chris told me, I just met this jazz guy. He has all the beautiful women in the world. He plays the saxophone. So I was like, jazz? We don't know anything about jazz.
He introduced me to his friends. They were all aspiring rappers. They liked me because I was touring and working with all the jazz greats at the time.
He would actually have little recording sessions in his house, give us the microphone and headphones and say, hey, you want to rap? Chris would come up and give his best shot.
The voice was changed when you heard me rap. Your hand was on your gun or your home was strapped.
I gave him the ability to listen to music on different levels, rhythmically, the melody of it, the themes, you know, and that's a jazz perspective.
Oh, what's up? It's Video Music Box.
There was a show called Video Music Box that was out, and Ralph McDaniels would always come up on people and say, hey, you on Video Music Box?
I was trying to use this camera, so I said, man, Chris, walk around the neighborhood, and that would be Video Music Box.
Look in the sky, wonder why most MCs alibis won't comply with my style of rhyme or rhyming or rap. It's not a trap, my rhyme just snap.
And we were laughing and laughing like, you're never gonna be on Video Music Box, man.
Miles and miles for a while, my rhymes once in a pot. Now put them on fire.
We wanted to find a way to get on the map fast. So that birthed the techniques. 2 DJs, and Chris was the MC.
This is a whale of a tale of a bill. You have to pay for bill, and I would nail it, begin to sell.
He was writing down music in like those little black and white composition books.
He was an honor roll student. It showed up everywhere, even in his raps.
Looking at my voice, echoing my head saying I got a lot of balls.
His vocabulary was vast. He would say things like hypotheses in a rhyme, and we'd be like, what?
He wrote a song called I Love You.
I love you.
It was pretty deep.
After he left St. Peter Claver and started going back into the public school system, I think that's what basically changed it for him. He had his friends who was like in the same lifestyle as he was in, and then you had Chico who lived across the street.
I'm your pusher man.
I was one of the toughest little dudes around the way.
I'm your pusher man.
He seen the environment that I was living in. He definitely didn't want to talk to me. I knew if I walk out that door and see, it was be him every day in that same spot, no matter what time it is. I just told him, like, yo, why you never come off the stoop? He was like, because my mother, you know, she don't allow me to do things what you doing. It was a Christmas that he told me, it's like, yo, Chico, you know, come upstairs to my house, I got this new game.
Anything Christopher asked for at Christmas time, I made sure he got it.
He got a new ColecoVision. I ain't had that. He had everything, so it was like, cool.
All the boys in the neighborhood looked up to him because as far as you're concerned, Christopher was like living the life.
You just ring his bell and he'd tell you to come upstairs or something. He was charging people quarters, 50 cents, $1 for 2 games.
Christopher knew the value of money and knew what money could bring into his life.
My son loved money.
He wanted to be like everybody else on the block, but his mother was not buying him the clothes that everybody else will.
But when you started to want different pairs of Adidas, different pairs of pants that cost $50 to $60 a pop, you realized that you had to get your own.
One day I was like, yo, just come me around the corner and meet some of my old timers. He was like, all right, I'll come with you.
Chris just decided that it was the time for independence. So he ventured out on Fulton Street where you could find the drugs and the drug dealers.
And he was just like standing there like in shock. So much traffic and everything flying past him. He just like, nah, I ain't with that, man. I ain't a policeman. My mother found out. I was like, come on, Chris, just chill, man. You ain't got to do nothing, just chill.
Chico just introduced me. He's like, yo, this is my friend.
Damien was a guy who was known in the neighborhood.
We should just be talking about getting money. He started hustling when he was around 16.
It wasn't a glamour thing about the drug game.
He had to do what young black men face when they're in a neighborhood with their peers.
Unfortunately, that's how it goes. You do what's around you. You do what you see.
All of a sudden, his grades just like sunk.
I got those little cards that your son skipped school.
School was boring to him. There was no challenge.
I said, I have a warrant for your arrest because you don't go to school and the cops are out there looking for you. When they find you, they're going to arrest you and put you into a home. And he was so scared.
He would conform for a while to please his mother because he saw the pain that she was in.
Then he just decided, Mom, you know, you went to school, you went to college, but that's not me right now.
Christopher dropped out of high school in 11th grade.
He decided he wanted to apply himself on the street level.
He saw something out there that fascinates him.
He was the big Biggie now on the block. It was like, yo, fat boy, hard.
Once he got to the point where Fulton Street became his real stomping grounds, he wasn't even Chris anymore.
I used to come back and forth from school doing my thing, and Big, he right there on that corner, hustling with the rest of the dudes out there.
It was like we was the mafia. We getting our own money, we on our own block, everything is our own, so we like a little family.
That was my dog, that's my partner. Just as much as I support him, he support me.
Fulton Street was definitely free enterprise. The competition was at your back, at your front, dog eat dog.
Big and be like, damn, you know, this is nothing I want to pursue as no damn career, to be sitting there hustling, watching my back every day.
His mother started getting worried about him. I remember many times she would be so upset. She's like, Susan, what am I going to do?
It was that fear of the street. I don't know what's going on out there. So the first thing I did, I opened an insurance on my son.
I think she was trying to put a lesson across to him and let him know, you know, death is this kind of thing that will happen with this kind of lifestyle.
I remember when my son signed it, so you know what you signed? I said, what? I said, you said you signed away your life.
It wasn't hard to find Chris. He was the biggest guy on the block. Usually had a black hoodie on.
He was so big, everybody be scared of him. And he'd be the sweetest one out the crew. He'd play dice, get money, he'd go get something to eat, ask everybody they want to eat.
He used to always eat. And the next thing you know, he started getting bigger.
Most of the older guys, they just call him Biggie Small, stuff like that, because he was, you know, kind of chubby.
He big and y'all small, so Biggie Smalls.
Before you know it, that was becoming his second name.
He didn't care. He'd see a girl all day and ask her for $1. Give me $1. Let me go $5. Buy me something to eat. That's how he met Jen.